Dad once received a piece of artwork from a guy. It was a bit amateur, and I laughed and said it was crap. Dad took me completely by surprise and really told me off. He was probably really proud of that. He put himself out there and you just laughed. Don't do that. Smug and mocking is not attractive. I've never done it again. I know, my father said inside. It's just a piece of art. It's rough, okay? But talent tried. Still takes a lot of heart. Of course it comes as no surprise, he smiled and sadly said. It's easier to criticize than see the worth instead. Just disregard your scorn and then step back and see it new. He held it up. Now look again. I did. I always do. You know you're an adult when you can be right without proving the other person wrong. Next year, you'll wish you had started today. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today. I was sitting in a bus once, and we came to the railroad tracks. There were some cars sitting in between us and the next red light, so if a train came, we'd be stuck until it passed. That was always a couple of annoying minutes. Then the light turned green, and the bus went across the train tracks without having to wait for a train. Phew, crisis averted. Then, behind me, a mother said to her small child, "That was too bad. We didn't get to see the train today." That was the perfect way to frame that. Why not enjoy what you get? All my life I'm discovering that a single situation can be good and bad depending on how you look at it. Yeah, it's called perspective. Your car broke down? Well, time to take a walk then. Little workout never hurt anyone. Your significant other left you? Good. More time to work on yourself, becoming a better person. All your plans for the day collapse? Fantastic. Now you have no expectations, and everything will be better than expected. That's going a little far. Alright, buddy. Oh, this guy's a lawyer. It all makes sense. You are not required to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. I learned to give, not because I have too much, but because I know how it feels to have nothing. My girlfriend wanted a unique birthday this year. I went to Walmart and bought 2 20-packs of socks, bulk underwear, men and women's, hair ties, and brushes. I spent maybe $40. Not much, considering takeout costs just as much. We went down to where some people needed this kind of help and handed out what we had. So many grateful faces. This kind of stuff is not easy to come by when you have nothing. My girlfriend had the best birthday she's ever had. Money is nice, but giving people what they need is so much better. My name is Worf. A Klingon does not need underwear. Sorry, sometimes I start to hear Worf in my own head and I can't. I try so hard to separate. Okay. If you're scared of doing it because you're afraid that people will judge you, trust me, they won't remember it after a year. Was that good? That was pretty good, right? Does nobody watches Star Trek now? I mean, but this is the one with Patrick Stewart. I mean, you can't pretend, whatever. Okay, I'm done. The smaller the tits, the sweeter the pussy. You're telling me you wouldn't want to hear Worf, man? Oh God. Worrying is like a rocking chair. You go back and forth, but never get anywhere. Is Kimbo Slice a rapper? Worrying is like a rocking chair. You go back and forth, but never get anywhere. Worrying. Sorry. Supposing a tree fell down, Pooh, when we were underneath it. Supposing it did. I can't. I can't do it. Supposing it didn't, said Pooh. After careful thought, Piglet was comforted by this. I'll put this in the video for sure. I'm looking at a picture. You're looking at the picture now because I've put it in the video, so Jesus. Isn't it funny how, day by day, nothing changes, but when we look back, everything is different? Would you rather wake up in 20 years wondering what you'd missed, or wake up in 20 years knowing exactly what you've missed? I'm laughing at these comments, specifically the "it all makes sense now" powerful stuff. Do it to do it, not to have done it. 3 Zen students arrive at their master's place on bicycles. The master asks them why they rode bicycles. "I ride my bicycle because it's efficient," says one. "Wonderful," replies the master. "Your path will be smooth and easy." "I ride my bicycle because it's good for my health," says the second. "Wonderful," replies the master. "You will live a long and healthy life." "I ride my bicycle to ride my bicycle," says the third. "I am your student," declares the master. Okay. The Jackie Chan references on my Reddit with 500 upvotes. Wait a minute. One more thing. My old boss, the CEO of a small hospital, told me a story from back when he was a lab technician. For simplicity, let's call him Dan. Dan, in real life, had forgotten to check some sort of mechanism on a piece of equipment he used. It malfunctioned and broke the equipment, which ended up having around a $250,000 repair bill. The next day, Dan's boss called him back to talk about it, and he was sure he was going to be fired. His boss asked him why he didn't do a proper check, made sure he understood what happened, and sent him back to work. Dan asked him, "Am I not getting fired? I was almost sure that that's what this was about." His boss said, "No way. I just spent $250,000 teaching you a lesson you'll never forget. Why would I fire you now?" A fool thinks himself to be a wise man. A wise man knows himself to be a fool. I am chief of security. Honest to God, I'm genuinely sorry about it. I was having a bad day one time, and being all, "Why me?" when a coworker said, "Why not you?" I had never thought about it like that before. But it was a good point, so I shut up and got over it. Are you alright, computer? You sound like you're trying to take flight down here. Before I do anything, I ask myself, would an idiot do that? And if they would, then I don't do that thing, okay? We're all background characters in someone else's story. A good friend once told me you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. How would it make you feel? My mom was dying, and a friend told me, "You have your whole life to freak out about this. Don't do it in front of her." Ooh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Ooh. Depression presents itself in the guise of rational thought. We judge others by their actions and ourselves on our intentions.